Hey, everybody. So, yes, those were awkward. I mean, think about running into your teacher at a restaurant, especially a teacher that maybe you're not as crazy about. I definitely think the least favorite of these for me would be sending the text accidentally to somebody that you weren't meaning to send the text to. I've actually done that before. It was really awkward. I hate when that happens. But listen, God cares a lot about who we date, how we're dating, and certainly why we date. The Bible has a lot to say on this, and so that's why we're talking about it today, because relationships are so important, and us figuring out how we are going to do relationships in our life. This is going to be important for us to dig just a little deeper together. And listen, I know that's not going to be easy for some of you, because if you're anything like me, I know we just wish we had all the answers about dating. Even looking at some of the questions you had from this last week, a lot of them had to do with relationships. How do I know if I should date somebody? Am I old enough, or am I ready to date? Or if I am dating, how do I know if this is the right person, or what I should be doing with this person if I am dating? So I know you have questions about this, and I know I had questions about this when I was your age. So let me tell you a story about when I was your age trying to figure out dating. I remember one of the first girlfriends that I had was in eighth grade. And it was summertime. We were in the same church youth group together, and we went to church camp. And so I think having a girlfriend at that age basically meant just sitting beside each other at like the times where we would sit in like Bible class, and we would try to hold hands a little bit, maybe. That was like the extent of an eighth grade dating relationship then. So one day at camp, we're sitting by each other, we're kind of flirting, we're trying to hold each other's hand, and she does the like playful hit. And when she hits me, I hold up my Bible real fast so she can't hit me, and she breaks her finger on my Bible. Absolutely. Had to like wear a splint, get home, get her finger like fixed by a doctor. She broke up with me not long after that. I don't know if it was the finger or probably some other things, but it was super awkward at youth group for quite a while because this dating relationship didn't work out. And maybe some of you know what I mean. The whole dating thing can get really complicated really fast. And that's why I think so many of us are asking these questions. What are we supposed to be looking for when we date someone? Is it about finding a person with like the exact right personality I want? Or is it somebody who believes the same things that I believe? Or is it based on looks or their intelligence? I mean, there's all these questions that we're asking when we want to know if we're dating the right person. And some of you may not even be interested in dating right now. Some of you aren't even allowed to date yet, or your parents have views on dating right now that maybe they don't align with a lot of what other people around you are saying about dating. And even if that's you, I want you to stay with me, because what I'm going to tell you in a second will actually help you in so many areas of your life. It'll help you know what to look for, not just in dating relationships in the future, but how you can even be a good friend to someone who's dating, or even what to look for just in all your friendships. So, because I know some of you are looking to date, or some of you are looking for new friends in your life right now, knowing how to choose these people we want to have close to us in life, for some of you is getting pretty difficult. Trying to figure out if somebody is somebody you can really trust or you really want to be close to you. So, think about all the opinions you have on this topic right now, relationships. Seriously, take just a second and think about all of the voices that are speaking in when you think about relationships and the messaging you're getting about what relationships you should have right now. I mean, Netflix has a ton of media ready for you to consume that has messaging about relationships. TikTok and social media will give you an image of what they think a dating relationship or even a friendship should look like. And some of the biggest hit songs we love every year are about relationships. But can I speak a word of truth to you? That's entertainment, not truth. I mean, would you really just consider that so many of the voices that I think you're consumed with right now about relationships are actually entertainment? Like, they're designed to entertain you, not give you great wisdom and truth. And you have to be aware of that music and the things you're watching and the things that you're scrolling through every single week. And I may step on some toes, but who says that your peers are relationship experts? Like, at what point do we start to really weigh even the voices of some of our friends who we think, man, they usually have some pretty good advice, or they've dated a few people before, so man, I think maybe they know what they're talking about. I beg you to consider the voices you are allowing into your decision making in regards to relationships, dating or otherwise. And we can't forget that the voice in your own head might be telling you who you should like or what you're supposed to think about dating. And even if it's okay to be interested in somebody right now, like, should I even really like this person or not? And in fact, I think all of this adds up to one big question. When it comes to relationships, how do I know what and who is right for me? That's the big question. How do I know who and what is right for me? And I think we can look to the Bible for some wisdom in helping us figure this out, because God loves you and he wants what's best for you. So if we're looking for more truth about sex and relationships, the Bible is actually one of the best voices we can tune into. Real people wrote this Bible, and that means they struggle with some of the real things that you and I struggle with, and they had real questions about some of the same things we do. So today we're going to look at a letter from a guy named Paul. He was writing to the Christians who were living in Rome at that time, and his letter is found in this book of Romans. He wanted to help the people understand what their lives needed to look like as they were these new followers of Jesus. So let's check out his advice for them, and I think for us today, in Romans chapter 12, verses 9 and 10. He says this: don't just pretend to love others, really love them. Hate what is wrong, hold tightly to what is good. Love each other with a genuine affection, and take delight in honoring each other. Basically, Paul didn't say, here's my best dating advice, but this can absolutely apply to all of our relationships. These are a few ideas that can help us determine if someone we want to date or spend time with is right for us. So let's break it down together here. Paul started by telling us right away to not just pretend to love others. Fake love doesn't cut it. We both know this because a lot of us have experienced it, right? That boyfriend or girlfriend that says, I love you, and then pressures you to do things that make you feel uncomfortable, that's fake love. The friend who's happy to be your friend when it benefits them, but is also happy to ignore and exclude you when it doesn't, that's fake love. The person who's constantly DMing you and communicating on Snapchat or in all these like behind the scenes ways, but then when you're together in person, they completely ignore you, or they're a totally different person to you, that's fake love. It's not authentic. And that's not the kind of love God wants us to give or receive. We're supposed to really love, it says, to let our actions match our words and our thoughts, to be honest, to be kind, to be respectful, to be the same person in front of someone as we are behind their backs or behind our screens. Not only is that required of us, but it should be the first thing we look for in people we want to be close to as well. Let me just take a quick sidebar on one of the things I just said. I just said that we need to be honest. And could I just suggest to you that I think one of the most important tools for you to have and acquire right now and be building into your personality, into your relationships, into the way that you even have conversation and interaction with other people is this: that right now as a high schooler, you live out honesty very well in your relationships. And listen, you're not just looking for honesty and calling out people who aren't honest with you. You have to be someone who chooses that you will be honest with other people. I mean, it's easy to see somebody else who's been dishonest or be upset with them, but how honest have you really been? How honest are you being in your relationships right now? Sometimes I know it's hard to have a conversation that you think, man, I don't know how they're going to react to this. But if you need to have an honest conversation, some of you do right now with a friend. Some of you know an honest conversation needs to be had with somebody that you're dating. And let me just tell you that right now as a high schooler, if you start building in the skill set of having honest conversations in a loving way, it will serve you so well in a future marriage. It will serve you so well in all of the future relationships that you have when you learn what it is to actually have honest conversations and not shy away or simply tell people what you think they want to hear in those relationships. All right, moving on. So Paul then went on to say we need to hate the stuff that's wrong. Hate the stuff that's wrong. Now, I know that hate seems like a strong word here, but it's actually an important one. You guys, when it comes to dating and relationships, none of us want to experience things that feel wrong. And if the person you like is mean to you, that's wrong. If someone pressures you into doing something you don't want to do, that's wrong. If your best friend constantly embarrasses you in front of other people, that's wrong. And while we don't have to hate the person that does those things, we can hate the way that it makes us feel. And we need to pay attention to those feelings for sure. And when that happens, Paul said we have a better option. Look at this, to hold on to what is good. Hold on to it. The people who are good to us, the friends who encourage you when you're down, the boyfriend or girlfriend who respects your boundaries, the people who make your life better, the people who will help you become the kind of person you actually want to be. Hold on to what is good. Those are the people we want to be close to because those are the people that we should want to be for others, right? And that's how we can determine if someone is right for us in any relationship. The writer of Hebrews said it this way in Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24 and 25. He said, "Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. And let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do, but underline this, encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is drawing near." You see, our relationship with Jesus needs to inform our relationships with all other humans. This is why it's important to have real talk about relationships because we need to talk about Jesus in light of all of our other relationships. And what does real love actually look like in relationships? Listen, real love motivates you, it says, to do better and be better because that person wants you to be your best. That's what real love looks like. Real love doesn't pull you away from others into some exclusive little bestie relationship or boyfriend-girlfriend bubble that nobody else can be a part of, and there's no room for bigger community and other good influences in your life. I mean, I remember struggling with this a little bit in some of my dating relationships when I felt like it was getting a little more serious. Some of you need to evaluate if a friendship or a dating relationship has gotten closed off in a way that's unhealthy. Real love looks like you are encouraged by the person in that relationship, not controlled or manipulated by them. That's real love. Think of it like this. Do I have any runners sitting here tonight listening to this? Okay, if you're a runner, then you know what I'm talking about. I am a runner, so let me give you this image. When I ran track in high school and in college, I ran the long distance events, but a lot of my friends were sprinters and did not run the same distance. And so we did not have the same finish line. We did not have the exact same goals. And so when we went out there to run, we couldn't actually run beside each other because they were going to be going much faster than me and stopping a lot earlier than me. And so as you think about who you're running beside, do they even have the same goal? Are they running towards the same things? What direction are they running in? And are they actually people that are going to be good to run alongside of? So I want you to keep in mind a couple of things as you think about a running partner, somebody that's running beside you and whether they're actually a good running partner for you or not. The first thing is this: pay attention to where you're running. As you're running, pay attention to where you're running. What direction are you headed? Where are your choices in life taking you right now? Are you running toward what is healthy, wise, and good for you? And are the people beside you running towards the same things? Make sure the direction you are running in right now is one that you want to be running towards. Secondly, pay attention to who is running with you. Start to look around you right now tonight, not necessarily in this room, but in your life, and evaluate who are the people who are running alongside you. Who's close with you right now? What relationships are important to you? Who do you like? Who are your teammates, so to speak? This is important because those people have the ability to influence the direction you're headed and how fast or slow you're going. Are the people closest to you making wise decisions and running towards something that's real and good? Are they asking you to slow down or turn around, to change directions completely and run towards something else? If they are, then maybe it's just time for you to put some distance between yourself and them or consider a different teammate to run alongside. Remember, it's important for you to have real talk about relationships, and that's what we're getting ready to do in our groups. We hope you're ready to go sit with your leaders and recognize where it is that you're running to right now. What's the direction you're going, and how could this group help you choose wisdom and choose what's good right now as you think about the direction and the people you are running with. So, as you go, I want you to think about this one question as you go to your group tonight. Think about this one question. You're going to talk about it in just a minute, okay? What's one thing you are running toward right now? What's one thing you are running towards right now? We love you guys. Hope you have a great time in group.